Welcome back, everybody. We are here just south of Palm Beach, Florida. We are at John Prince Campground. Beautiful campground, lots of space. It's very quiet, and the dogs really like it. There's a lot of iguanas, different little lizards and stuff running around. We got a great menu for you today. We're going to make a very simple and classic seared salmon. We're going to make some potatoes I've got left over. We're going to saute those on the flat top. And then also I've got some asparagus. It's going to be a really nice, easy menu that's really good. Fresh salmon from right here on the Atlantic side. And I can't wait to take along. So let's go outside and get started. Alrighty. So I've got our bundle of asparagus here. And the best way that I can tell you how to cut this is, most people tell you, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. No, you just pick a spot, because these are fairly thin. If they're really thick and woody, you'd be more worried about this end, but these are decent. So we are going to go right about here and just cut. You can even tell here in the ends that it's not a super woody. You can see the difference. These are whiter, less green, and these are a nicer green. And that's honestly the easiest way to just do asparagus. So we're just gonna do that, not that one. And you're also gonna look at the tips. You want nice tips, especially when you're buying asparagus. You wanna look at the tips, make sure they're not all soft and gooey. They're supposed to be nice. So the reason we cut off this amount, while it may seem wasteful, there are uses for this still too, but it's because asparagus can be very woody and not have a good mouthfeel if you don't cut it down enough. It'll just kind of have a very bad mouthfeel. So another thing you could do with this though, cut off this end, which is where they picked it, and you could also use this for asparagus soup. There's still a lot of flavor in there. It had some cream. Add this, make your soup, add in some tips for a little chunk factor. That'd be a great soup. Next thing we're moving to is I've got these baby Yukon Golds. I love Yukon Gold potatoes. What we're gonna do first is we're going to add a little bit of vegetable oil to have something stick, have the seasoning stick. Give a little toss. Potatoes love salt. If you can't handle salt, that's perfectly okay. I love salt. So you want to give a healthy measure of salt. Some pepper. Also going to do you know, your favorite seasoning salt, whatever your brand might be. So I'm gonna put a little paprika on there. I'd like to just point something out. Being in the cooking professional, this is what I travel with. This is one of two. These are all my little containers of seasonings, and also I have another one of these baskets full of jars and bottles, if you were curious. So I'm just going to toss these up. A little bit of simple, because if you put herbs and stuff on the flat top with this, they can burn. Same thing with garlic. So what I'm going to do is do this, and then after they're done, I'm going to put it back in this bowl, throw a good piece of butter, and I've got a little fresh thyme, and put that in there as well, and a little fresh garlic. And that'll be very nice. Alrighty, I've got my griddle all heated up, nice and preheated. Excuse my poodles barking in the background. I've got our potatoes, nice and seasoned, tossed in oil, ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and get them and start searing those off. Because they're already cooked, you know, we're just basically looking to heat them through and get some nice color on the potatoes themselves. So we're gonna go ahead and kind of work a lot of these potatoes so they're cut side down, just to go ahead and get that nice, nice color on the one side, and then we'll go ahead and just keep rotating them. And these are probably gonna take roughly the longest. And what we're gonna do here is kind of get this started, get it going. Potatoes are all set. I'm gonna go ahead and get the fish on there. I'm gonna start this skin side down. And actually, I'm gonna put just a little bit of oil. And I did spray a little non-stick on here, just so it wouldn't get too messy. Ooh, that's a good sound right there. Alrighty. Now I kind of like to hold it down here a little bit because it wants to curl up and then the middle won't cook. So you hold it down for a second and the whole thing will start cooking. And you can do that with all fish. Hold it down with a spatula, a spoon. This is a big piece, my hand's already dirty, so that's the only reason I use my hands. So, perfect. So, we're gonna go ahead and let these start cooking. Just gonna go ahead and start checking these. Oh yeah, see, that's a good color right there. That's what you want to start seeing. So, go ahead and start flipping them over. And that way the backside gets some color. These are going to be great. Don't mind the sausages in the back. I don't eat fish, so I generally make myself something extra, but I don't want to deny my beautiful wife a little bit of seafood when she likes it. So now that we've got these all flipped over, I'm making some room here. Gonna get this all kind of tightened up. And that way we have a little bit of room for the asparagus. That's asparagus here. I'm going to put two different directions just so we can maximize space. And I think what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and start getting them cooked up here on the flat top. And then when I take them off, I'll toss them with some butter, salt, pepper, the whole kabang. And that way they get the color that they want on here, but we'll make sure we maximize the flavor afterwards. So, all right, we're just gonna let everything sit, cook. Let's take a peek. Ooh, look at that. Look at these beautiful potatoes frying up real nice. Get all that great color. My sausages in the back looking good. All right, let's go ahead and get an old flippy. Oh yeah. I like my vegetables al dente, they call it. So I want a little bit of bite left to them. Never used to like asparagus because I always thought it had to be steamed. And then when I started cooking, I realized I was very wrong. And now I love asparagus. All right, so let's take a peek. I did flip the fish back over a little bit. She's feeling about a medium. I can kind of tell because, I'm touching it. Another good way you can tell is it's starting to cook, almost all the way through, is there's some fat that's coming through. Same thing on the top. Actually, on this side, you can get a much better view. Whoop. If you look right there, you see how there's some fat coming out. It might be kind of hard for you to see. But that generally means that it's starting to cook all the way through. And then last thing you could do, you could also temp it, I suppose. But the last thing you could do is just kind of poke it open a little bit, push her back together. She's looking good. We're gonna go ahead and give that side a little sear. Sometimes with fish, you'll have a really thin part and one large part, and sometimes the larger part won't look like it's cooked, even though it is, just because it hasn't had any heat on it. So this probably has just got another minute or so. Asparagus almost ready. My sausages are almost done, and so are the potatoes. So I'm gonna go ahead, grab that lemon, give her a squeeze, and then we're gonna start pulling stuff off. First thing we're going to take off, asparagus. Cooks the fastest. I don't want them to overcook. You throw them in whatever you got. This is what I have, so that's what we're using. Alrighty. Now while it's still nice and hot, I've got a little tab of butter we're going to throw on there. And also, I'm going to grab a little salt and pepper and throw that on there as well. Alright. Let's get these beautiful potatoes off. They've got a nice skin to them, nice seared. Look at those. We're gonna go ahead, give it a little taste, check for seasoning. Oh, look at that, nice crunch. last little touch, just a little piece of lemon. There you have it. We've got this beautiful Atlantic salmon, fresh from nearby. We've got our roasted little baby Yukon potatoes that we've done on the grill. We got some grilled asparagus as well, a little side of lemon. Easy meal. Salmon is one of the easiest fish you can cook. Anyone can do it, and hopefully this gives you a little bit of inspiration to go ahead and make your own salmon. Stay with us, see what we're cooking next time.